All right, for this one, we're diving into a text that lays out a really stark and incredibly detailed vision of cosmic justice. We're talking about the price of karma.
So where are we getting all this from? Well, our source is this fascinating publication from 1959 called Karmas and Diseases, written by Sri Swami Stivananda. And it presents this very direct, almost mathematical, cause and effect view of our actions.
You know, the text kicks off by tackling a timeless question. When we suffer, is it just random bad luck, or is there some deeper, unbreaking law at work? Well, this document argues very, very firmly for the second one.
And the author's reason for writing this is just fascinating. He wrote that back in 1959, people weren't really being guided by these vivid descriptions anymore. He intended this text to be a whip crack, a really sharp, sudden reminder designed to steer people away from their more basic instincts.
So, and this is the crucial point, this isn't just a list of rules. The author, Swami Sivananda, saw these ideas as a powerful psychological tool. The goal was to paint such a graphic picture of the consequences that the choice between right and wrong would feel immediate, real, and deeply personal.
So, let's get into the first level of consequence, and you'll see how this all builds. According to the text, our actions, our karmas, can actually show up as physical illnesses, and not in some future life, but right here, in our current one.
And the specificity here is just brilliant. It's not just, be bad, get sick. No, it draws these very direct lines. Hypocrisy, that leads to skin diseases. Gossip or insulting people, get ready for ear problems. Blasphemy literally affects the tongue. The punishment truly fits the crime.
This whole idea extends right into the professional world. People in positions of trust are held to an especially high standard. A doctor who harms patients is said to suffer in childbirth. A lawyer who twists the truth could be born with deformities. Public officials who steal, they face fevers and fluid retention.
Sins of greed are also tied to some pretty severe physical payback. The text connects being a stingy moneylender to consumption, what we'd call tuberculosis. Profiteering leads to obesity. Even stealing sacred texts is said to cause ulcers and cancer.
But here's the thing. The consequences don't just stop at the end of this life. Oh no, the next major stage, according to this source, is all about how our actions determine the very form we take in our next birth.
And again, the connection is so direct. It's almost poetic. A person who lies in a formal testimony is reborn without the ability to speak. Someone who's violent towards a sacred animal or a Brahmin, a member of the priestly class, is said to come back with a broken or disabled body.
When it comes to theft, the text gets incredibly detailed. Just notice the pattern here. If you steal food, you become a creature that steals food, a rat. Steal grain, you become a locust. Steal water, a bird that, in folklore, only drinks rainwater. It's a very specific and symbolic form of justice.
You see the exact same logic with sins of passion. Committing what the text calls unnatural vice leads to being reborn as a pig. An overly passionate person becomes a horse. Someone who abandons their spouse is said to be reborn as a ruddy goose, a bird known for its distinct mating patterns. The consequence always reflects the nature of the act itself.
Okay, so what about the really serious stuff? For what the text sees as the most severe transgressions, the consequences go way beyond sickness or rebirth. Now we enter the realm of the karmic hells, or narakas, each one a specific region of suffering for a specific sin.
Let's take a quick tour, shall we? First up, there's a hell called Kumbhipaka. According to the text, this is the final destination for anyone who causes suffering to animals by cooking and eating them.
And the punishment? Well, it's a direct reflection of the crime. The sinner who boiled animals is, in turn, boiled in oil by what the text calls dreadful fiends. The symmetry is stark, and it's completely intentional.
Next up, Kala Sutra. This hell is reserved for a very specific social sin, disrespecting or insulting your elders, spiritual teachers, or members of the Brahmin class.
The scale of this punishment is designed to just be overwhelming. The sinner has to endure torment on a plane of burning copper that's described as being 40,000 miles wide, constantly being heated from above and below.
The text also has a lot to say about abuses of power. The hell of Sukaramuka is specifically for rulers, kings, or officials who use their authority to punish innocent people.
And the imagery here is incredibly vivid. It says the sinner's body is methodically crushed part by part using this powerful simile, like sugarcane. It's meant to evoke a feeling of total, systematic destruction.
So, after going through all these consequences, from disease to rebirth to damnation, what's the one fundamental principle that holds this whole system together? Well, the absolute core message of the entire text is this: the law of karma is presented as being just as real and just as inescapable as the law of gravity. You know how ignorance of the law is no excuse in a courtroom? It's the same idea here. Not knowing about this cosmic law doesn't spare you from the suffering.
Which leaves us with a final, big question to think about. Did the author really intend this as a literal, factual map of the afterlife? Or is it all a powerful psychological metaphor designed to make the abstract concept of morality feel viscerally, undeniably real? What do you think?